How you going, guys? Today I thought I'd do a video on some tips and tricks and drills, just helpful little things that help you get ready for wrestles and training, and also stuff during the wrestle. Today we're going to start with some grip breaks. So with grips, the first one is that we're going to take it from being a negative position into a neutral position. All right. So let's say Jazz has got my wrist. What we're going to do is we're going to roll over and grab her wrist, and then she's going to roll over and grab my wrist. Rolling over, grab her wrist. Rolling over, grab mine. Over, 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 over. Okay, so that's the first drill you can do, and you can sit there doing good side to bad side, and so on. If she's got my wrist here, I can roll over here, roll over here, roll over here, and it's just that instinctual practice of going from a really crappy position to a better position. All right, so it's not so much a grip break, it's a grip neutralizer. Okay, we're becoming even. When she's got me, I'm losing. When I've got her and she's got me, it's neutral. Then I might break her grip. So she's got me, I've got her, break her grip. I'm winning now. All right, so that's the first one. The second grip break drill is she can grab my sleeve here, and there's 3 or 4 things happening here. I'm going to pull my arm, I'm going to push, and I'm going to use my shoulder and my arm, and I'm going to step back. So we're here, and that should have hurt her fingers, and I think it did. Very good. And we're here, pull, step, push. Pull, step, push. Pull, step, push. Pull, step, push. All right. So that's the other grip break. And that brings us to a neutral position again. All right. So the next one is when we grab the lapel. Now, Jazz isn't going to grab mine because she's got to fight in the forest. So I'm going to grab hers, and we'll just angle a little bit more here. So this is a 2-on-1 scenario. So 2 hands onto my one, sliding down the gi as she pushes, as well as away, because this is quite slippery. And she's also stepping back at the same time. So we're here, yep, and again. It's all these actions working at once. And if she was to bend forward, let's say I've got her forward like this, she's going to use another muscle, a deadlift muscle, stepping back and pushing down. So it's all at once, okay? And that's another really good exercise to do for grips. Now, another really cool drill is if we're doing a snap down to a guillotine. So if we're in the pummeling position, a snap down is I'm going to grab back at the head, I'm going to snap it down, I'm going to guillotine, pull guard, or drag backwards, or something like that, okay? So what Jazz and I have come up with that really helps when we've got people learning snap downs, like from right at the beginning, they go, what the heck's a snap down? And this is really helpful for kids, adults, and everyone. When we're pummeling, with our snap down hand, all we do is tap. We tap the shoulder or we tap the head. If they're really beginners, right at the get-go, we tap the shoulder. Tap the shoulder, maybe they're nervous, so we're progressing up. After we tap the shoulder, we tap the head. And then after we tap the head, we snap down. So I'll just show you we'll do the tapping head one? Sure, I'll just show you the tapping head drill. So our tapping hand is the snap down hand. All right. Cool, and that's all that is. So for me and Jazz over here, boom, boom, tap. But what it is a snap, and here. So it goes from there. So that's just a really small, quick, helpful drill for learning a snap down to a guillotine. And then, with the other parts of those moves, we can link in other games or little tricks that just make it a little bit less confronting. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I like to watch the kids' class learn and it being taught, because how instructors teach kids' classes works for my brain much better. Because on a Friday night, someone's explaining inverted De La Riva with a this and a that, I want it in kiddie language, so it kind of helps me. A lot easier because we're tired. All right, so what's the next one that we're going to do? Oh yeah, so when we're going into a takedown situation, you know, one of the golden rules is to be lower than your opponent, and also from your front leg, I don't want to be, well, this is too close. If I can touch her head, she can take me down. All right, and likewise I can take her down, but maybe I don't want to be taken down. All right, so we want to be this distance here. Front, my shoulder kind of, if I measure it, it's a general guide, shoulder over knee touching. All right, so we can be here wrestling, and we're just going to touch each other's shoulder, head I mean, sorry, it's not the shoulder. All right, too close. Yeah, too close. So we're here, and I want to be lower than Jazz, she wants to be lower than me. Boom, and it's that kind of situation. So that's a really good way to teach people about safe distances. And when you're teaching that, like you can see us moving backwards and forwards, and we've got a little rhythm on. So it's about timing that rhythm for your takedown. So you might be teaching adults and kids that, you know, let's keep our distance and be safe, and then hit our takedown. I'm a really defensive jiu-jitsu person, so I don't go in hard, I just sit back and I wait a lot. So that's one of those ones, that's a really cool one. What was the other one we were going to do? Can't remember. Oh no, lapels. Alright, so lapels are really cool for a couple of reasons. There's heaps of lapel chokes, and you know, there's heaps of moves that you can do with lapels. I'm a bit more of a psychology-based person when it comes to jiu-jitsu too. And Friday night, heavy week at work, I work in a pretty full-on environment, and sometimes my brain is fuzz, and I've got side control on an opponent, and they're giving me hassle. Maybe they're an impressionable blue belt, and I'm a real hobby black belt. I'm no world champ black belt, but I'm going to pull their gi out, and I'm going to look like I know what I'm doing. I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to grab it with intent, and all I'm intending to do is lay here. They're going to stress about the gi, and then they're going to think about that, and then maybe that gives me a couple of seconds to readjust to something that I can now do because I've got my breath back. But gis are really good, because if I'm here and I pull this gi out, Jazz has something else to worry about now. She knows her gi's open. I don't use gis much in this situation, but I want her to split her thinking. I don't want her just to be comfortable with this normal takedown scenario here. I want her to worry about this, I want her to worry about that, I want to do that one as well. And I want her to worry about all these things. That way, even if I have no intention, it can be something that gets her thinking. All right, now with pummeling as well, when we pummel, there's lots of different pummeling techniques. Like we do pummeling a lot. I like to mix up my pummeling. So if you watch my hand on this side of Jazz, you'll watch my different hand movements for pummeling. So we'll do a few pummels. Run away. I'm rolling under her armpit. It's a wrist roll, yeah? Wrist roll. Now we're going to the middle wrist roll. Middle wrist roll. Now it's a slide down. Slide down. It's coming along my body. Okay, my body. Now slide down, wrist roll to the base. We're going here now. Wrist roll. And there's a slide down. Now we might have when we're in this pummeling position and she's trying to drive forward, I might just have a hip block. I don't like that. I like the back of the hand a lot. I find that more helpful for some reason. And we want a bump or a flare. So if we're under this side, we're going to bump or flare. And that helps me go from there. All right. It's not a science, it's an art. You work out what works for you. I like having different options. I don't want my opponent to feel the same thing. I want them to go, oh, he's doing that, now he's doing this, oh, he's doing that, okay, what's happening here? So maybe try that in your pummeling exercises, and hip blocks are really important to set up their pressure coming onto you, because if I hip block, right, we're here, and I hip block and she wants to come in, I can let her come in. You know, that was really dodgy by the way, that was terrible. But my example there is about her weight pressure. So if her weight pressure, here, she's here, and she's pushing, and I'm pushing, I can take her, and I can step back as she's coming forward, palm that, palm in, grab the back, whatever you want to do, you know. So it's about that pressure dispersion. Now for the final one, this is like the best, most complicated, advanced drill you can do. All right. So what you do is you stand face to face with our feet together. Come closer. Come closer. Yeah. Right. And we put our hands up like this. And this is for pressure and balance and understanding how our body moves. This is really, really good for kids. It's really, really good for adults. Put our hands together. You know this one. My job is to push her over through force or taking her energy so that she falls over, and her job's the same. There you go. She was too tight there, right? And I caught that moment, got her. All right. You would do it again. Push against me. And then I pull away, and she nearly went. So what you do is you sit here and you go the first of 3 wins, and all the kids do this, and adults do this, and all the instructors lose and get embarrassed because they're black belts and they're crap at balance. No. Alright, there you go, she's too strong then. So it's about helping people understand the relationship between strength and balance, and where to put power and where to take power, and all of that kind of stuff. Alright? And then you do that, and that really helps with people understanding when we're here in this scenario, blocking this hip, they're pushing against the hip. So that's where I'm going to let go and they come forward. And for me, there's this wicked takedown you can do from here. You block and they push forward, and then I'll jump, get this underhook, grab the shoulder, and I'll get double hooks in here, and I'll roll backwards. And it's in one of my other videos, like back in the first 20 or something. And you take them down that way. It's a really surprising, explosive takedown. All right, man, peoples out there, I hope all that stuff helps. I know a lot of you guys have watched this stuff and you show your classes. Share it more, share it to everyone, and learn jiu-jitsu. It's really good fun, and we don't always have to be serious. All right, wicked.